Oh man, I've seen some crazy ass movies in my time, but this one really takes the cake. By the way, everyone, spoiler alert. This movie review, is gonna be a lot of spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. This is gonna get wild and crazy. And what the fuck did I just see? Hello everyone, Dragon Souls here, and welcome to a new movie review. I think it's called Unhinged or something like that, whatever the hell that's called. um, Now I'm actually going to get really sick, okay, and I mean really foul and disgusting. Okay, so if you have not ate yet, good. But if you have ate, you don't want to watch this. You don't want to hear this. So this guy apparently, it starts off with this guy. Apparently, he's obsessed with his wife, and apparently something happened between him and his wife. You know, where she divorced him. You know, and he wants her back. Okay, he wants her back. And she doesn't take him back because she after she divorced him, she got married to another man, and was moving on with her life, and he couldn't stand it, and he went nuts. Apparently, went nuts, and he wouldn't leave her alone. Okay, he wouldn't leave his ex-wife alone at all. He kept harassing her, bugging her, so she put a restraining order on him. And apparently that made it worse for him. He wouldn't accept it. So he went into her home with a hammer and a big jug of gasoline. And he went off and killed her husband, and then he went off and killed her, and I won't go into details about how he done it, you know, what he done, you know, to him. But after he went off and did it, he threw gasoline all over the house, and he blew the whole house up. I mean, burned it to the ground. And the cops were after him, you know, he was wanted for murder, you know, and it was all, and they was talking about on the news and everything on the movie, you know. And this guy was a psycho. I mean, complete fucking psycho. And so all of a sudden, this woman overslept, you know, and she was married, but her and her husband got divorced, and so she was talking to, and she found out that she slept overtime, you know, and her son was living with her, and she's a real nice guy, real nice woman, you know, with a real nice kid, you know, and minding her own business, and then all of a sudden, she got on the phone and talked to her client, which apparently was her job, you know. And found out she was late, and she was talking to her and everything. She said that, and she was in the traffic, you know, and her son told her not to take the highway because it's gonna be all backed up and jammed and everything. But she wouldn't listen, and we hadn't done it anyway. And then all of a sudden, she found out, and she said that her appointment was at 9 o'clock in the morning, and she said, "Are you gonna be here?" And she said, "Yeah, I'll be there I'll be here 20 to 30 minutes." Or, well, it all depends on this traffic right now. It's hella traffic right now. And then she said, "You know what? I'll find somebody else. You're fired." And then all of a sudden she's like, Deborah, listen. And she wouldn't listen to her. She hung up on her. And so she said and said, well, I'm gonna get you to school, and we're gonna get there, you know. So she got and she traveled and she went in different places, you know. And just when she thought she was getting somewhere, the guy that went up, she ran into this guy that drives a pickup truck. It looks like a black, grayish, whatever they call it, pickup truck. And she gets behind him, and the thing is, the light's green, but he just sits there. And the person that's on the side of him goes ahead and turns that way. And instead of actually sitting here going past him, like, you know, like you're supposed to, you know, to go about your business, okay? She goes off and blows the horn. No harm on doing that. Just blew the horn to get the guy going, and he wouldn't go. The light turned yellow, and she just fuck it, and then she turned, and then she kept going, okay? And then she sits there and turned that way to go where she needed to go. Next thing you know, after doing this, you know, she don't have to apologize or nothing, okay? She don't apologize to the guy or anything, you know. But then all of a sudden, he comes up to her on the side of her, and he goes up and he talks to her, and he goes up and he rolls his window down, and he tells him to roll he tells her son to roll his window down. And his mom tells him not to do it, but he goes off and does it anyway. Then when he does, he tells him he wants his mom to apologize for blowing her horn at him. And she sit there and said, I'm not gonna apologize, sir. I ain't got nothing to apologize. And this night, you know, he's like, well, I'll tell you what, I'll take a step back and I want to apologize for anything I've said to you. If I said anything wrong to you, I want to apologize. And she said, well, you ain't. And she said, well, I said, okay, whatever. Sure, whatever, you know. And he said, well, can you apologize to me for blowing your horn at me? And she's like, sir, I wasn't rude to you. I was blowing my horn because you was blocking the way. And it went back and forth, you know. And then he cussed her out, called the F word to her, you know, and said, you don't know anything about a bad day, do you? You're about to fucking find out what it's like to have a bad day. And then she's like, roll your window up, son. He tried to roll his window up, but it wouldn't work, because the car wasn't that great at all. So then all of a sudden, he follows her every fucking way. He being a stalker, following her wherever she goes, you know. And then all of a sudden, when they find, and then he nearly causes a wreck on the highway, and he leaves, and it freaks her out, you know. So then all of a sudden, she drops her son off. He goes off and he calls his dad up and talks to his dad, and I cannot believe I'm actually bringing this up. Her son talks to his dad, about Fortnite, and about plans that they're gonna be making about Fortnite, of the game Fortnite and everything. And then he says he can't make it. He can't do this and he can't do that, and he disappoints his son and everything. So then she sits there and says, he hangs up with him and gets off the phone with him, and all this shit goes down, you know. And then he's like, well, and then she gets freaked out because that guy, what he did, you know, and then he takes off, you know. And she drops her son off at the school. And then she goes off and finds out that she needs to go to the gas station and get some gas, okay? Mind her own business, okay? Getting gas and getting whatever she needs. And then all of a sudden she looks out the door, and then she finds that guy that was cussing her out and that she blew her horn at was right behind her vehicle that whole time. And then she's like, and then the lady behind the cashier is like, "Ma'am, is everything okay?" She said, yeah, everything's fine. Actually, no, it's not, and no, everything's not okay. There's this guy who's been following me this whole time, and he's right behind my vehicle." And the guy in the hood sit there and said, "Well, I'll tell you what, she said, that's road rage. Throughout the people in this movie was road raging, and that's what this guy was doing." And so he said, "I'll tell you what, I'll go. I'll tell you what, I'll go out. I'll walk you to the car and make him think we're a couple, and that way he'll leave you alone." She said, "Are you sure?" "No, you don't have to do that." "No, I'm serious. I'll do it. I can do that for you. I want to be helpful. I want to help you out, girl." She said, "That ain't no way that somebody should treat you like this." She said, "Okay." So he does. They go off and get the gas, and then he goes off and says, "Okay, I got the license plate." He tells her what his license plate is, and then all of a sudden, she gets in the car. And he tells her to get in the car and go, so she does. And he says, "Look, man, leave this girl alone. She's not doing a damn thing to you. Go about your business." And then he tells him what's what. He tries to be nice to him. And then all of a sudden he said, and all of a sudden she tries to take off. He goes off and takes it and put in drive, and he floors it. And then all of a sudden he's like, whoa, hey, wait. He goes off, he runs right into the guy, knocks him onto the ground, middle of the road, and then all of a sudden when you thought he's gonna be okay and everything, gonna be a little hurt and everything, but he's just fine, he gets up, and then all of a sudden he gets up, and then a car out of nowhere comes over and smacks him and runs over him, and that's it. And as far as I know, I don't think he made it, because they don't show him anymore. Then he's chasing her all over town. I mean everywhere, and she's looking for her phone so she can call the police. Or something, Finds out the guy got in their car, takes her phone, and he looks at her and he's like, "Here's your phone. You want your phone? Right here it is. Go over there. Go over that way." So he did. She did. She does what he says to do, and all of a sudden, they're doing some talking, and he sit there and said, he finds out that he put his phone and her flip phone in her car, so she answered it, and he talks to her, and he tells her he wants her to apologize to him, and for what? He told her for what? He said, "I'm not gonna apologize to you." This, that, He said, "Okay." And then all of a sudden, he looks at her phone. And he finds everything that she was doing. I think the guy was her lawyer. I'm not sure, but she had to meet. She was supposed to meet this guy at this some kind of diner. Okay. So he finds out about it, and he goes to the diner and meets the guy. Talks to him about her and about him, Talks to him about her and this and that, and claims he's a friend of hers and everything. How she's talked about this and that, Personal shit, And then all of a sudden, he said, "Tell you what." He said, "Buy me a if you buy me a coffee." He said, "You buy me a coffee and I'll get her on the phone." "Well, what if she don't answer the phone?" "Well, if she don't answer the phone, I'll owe you a coffee." And he's okay. So he gets on her phone and calls her up, and she answered the phone. That the flip phone that I was telling her about. It was belonged to him. And then all of a sudden she goes off and talks to she talks to that guy and everything. And then all of a sudden she sits there and says, and she tried to tell him, listen, that's not my friend. He is a psycho, and he done this and he done that and all that kind of shit, you know. And he sits there and says, I hear you what you're saying, you know, and this and that, and it's like, and she tried to tell him, don't do anything, you're gonna regret it. Don't do anything, you know. And she's like, you didn't apologize and you didn't learn your lesson about how it's like to have a bad day. And she's like, don't do anything. And all of a sudden he takes the coffee cup, smashes it in the guy's face, breaks his nose, and then he goes off and talks to her about him, about the guy and everything, about what he is, you know, what he does, you know. And then all of a sudden he takes a knife and stabs the guy in the back of his neck. And everybody is filming it. Everybody is filming the whole thing and putting it all over the news and everything. And he just walks away like he just don't give a shit, you know. He gets on the phone and calls her up and talks to her and everything. She tells him she wants him to put him on the phone. He said, no, I can't do that. And she said, why? He's dead. And she said, oh my God. And all of a sudden she gets it, and she got her son out of there. And he's okay. He said, now I want you to do something for me. And she said, what's that you do? You have to choose, who do I kill next? She said, what is this, some kind of fucking sick game to you? Answer the question. Who do I kill? What? Give me a name of who should I kill next. Should I kill your mom? Should I kill your brother? Should I kill or should I kill your son? Pick a name. She said, me. No. That's not how it works. You can't pick yourself. You had to pick a name. Choose now. And she said, okay, how about Deborah? She go ahead and said, what? Okay, what did she do? And then she told him, told him what she did, you know. And then he said, okay, what's her address? He gets her address and he said, I'm on my way right there and right now. So all of a sudden, he goes in there and find out that her brother was in there and was in the same house as she was. And he kills her. He goes off and kills her and beats the hell out of her brother and makes him write a note telling her what on the phone what he thinks about his sister. And all of a sudden the cop finally gets there and sees the guy doing what he's doing. And then he goes off and he tells him to freeze, and he gets on his CB and talks and reports what's going on and tells him he needs backup. And then all of a sudden he sets her brother on fire and pushes him. He has him tied up in the chair, sets his ass on and sets him on fire and pushes him towards the cop. And then the cop goes off and starts firing and shoots the guy that set him on fire. He shoots him right here in the shoulder. He gets away, but instead of chasing after the guy to get him, he goes off and takes a looks like some kind of rogue or something, and tries to help the boy out and try to put the fire out to where he can save that boy's life. And then that cop actually does save his life. And saves his life and everything, you know. And so he finds out that she went to her son's school, and he said, "Where you at?" He's like, no, I know where you're at. You're at the school, and your son's school, ain't you? She said, yes, I am. Where? I said where? And he said, she's I'm outside of the school. And she said, go get your son. I want you to hear. I want him to hear everything I'm having to say. So he does. Then after he does all that shit, they go up and she shows a picture of what the guy looks like, and it says, I have to get my son. He's in danger right now. This guy is stalking me, and he's trying to kill. He's killing people, and he's trying to come after my son. And she said, no, we can't do that. We can't do this and do that. And she's like, this motherfucker's trying to kill my son, and I'm trying to get him out here and save his life. And then she's like, look, and she shows him a picture, and she said, look, on the news, the same person they're talking about is on this picture right here. He's trying to kill my son. He's trying to kill my son, my brother too, right now. And she's like, get my son right now, or else I'm suing your ass. So they get him. She gets her son out of school, and then she freaks her son out, and she explains to him what's going on, and then she puts a phone on speaker so he can hear everything that's going on and what the guy's saying, and one thing and by the way, by all means, okay, if you are a woman, never do this in real life, okay? This woman on this movie was actually putting makeup on in her car while she was driving. Okay? Never fucking do that. That's fucking stupid. If you're gonna put makeup on, make sure you're in your own home to do that before you get in your fucking car and try to drive anywhere. You're going to cause a wreck, and you're going to cause yourself to get hurt or killed. Never fucking do that shit. But this woman was sitting here driving, minding her own business, putting makeup on her face, to get herself clean and fixed up, to where she was going. This sicko chasing this woman, trying to kill her and her son, okay, goes off. He smacks every vehicle, by the way, causing all kinds of wrecks. He runs over a cop car, and the cop is inside of a car. Smacks the cop car. He's trying to call for backup, and then when he does, knowing he's right in the middle of the road, a 18-wheeler comes over and runs right over the cop, kills him instantly. Smashes him and smashes it. I mean, there ain't nothing left of the vehicle, by the way. And I'm like, holy hell! And then all of a sudden, she gets a hold of the cops and tries to tell the police station and let them know what's going on. And they said, we can't do nothing about it. There's an accident, and there's an accident on the highway right now, and all our cops are going there right now. And they said, that motherfucker caused that accident, you dumbass! And then all of a sudden, they're trying to let them know what's going on. The app and looks like a tablet. The battery on it died on them, so they couldn't and everything. So they had to make what do, and they had to take off, and they was trying to get places, and all of a sudden it gets really good, because they get out of there. They finally he's not driving his pickup anymore. He's driving her son's vehicle now, and he's driving like a fucking maniac. Got blood stain all over his shirt right here, from the cops shooting him, and they finally lose him. Okay, they finally lose him, and then they sit here and talk about Fortnite, and she sits there and says, You remember how you was talking about talking to your dad about Fortnite, and he said, yeah, we're gonna play Fortnite right now. She said, he said, what are you talking about? We're gonna make that plan. The plan that you and your dad was making on that game of Fortnite, we're gonna make it in real life. And he's like, how we gonna do that? We're going back home. We're gonna lure this son of a bitch back to our home where we live at. So she did. They lured her and they lured him right where they live, close to where they live. But when they lost him, that was a great thing because now they was fixing a trap to where they can lure, because when he finds them, you know, because they got everything, all the traps set and fixed. Okay. Then all of a sudden, he finds her vehicle. Looks like he's taking an overdose of his medicine or something. I don't know, but he's taking a pill bottle, and he's putting a pill in his mouth, and he's chewing on it like it's candy. And I don't know what it's supposed to be for. It's something that the doctor prescribed him. And all of a sudden, he was fit to get ready to get out of the vehicle, when all of a sudden, she got into another car and just drove so fast right towards his car, smacked on the side of his car, flipped his car sideways, upside down. I was like, there you go, yeah, that son of a bitch deserved that shit. And I was like, I hope he fucking got killed for it. Then all of a sudden, she took a golf club. She goes over there and checks on him. He's not in the vehicle. He gets in behind her, punches her in the face, knocks her out, and then that's it. And then he goes off and he goes to her house. Her son is hiding, you know, in a safe place that he's already got security alarm set for, just in case if somebody breaks in, you know. He goes off and he kicks the door down. The alarm goes off, but the thing is, it's so silent you can't hear it. Only the alarm is a kind of alarm to where only the police, it goes off to where the police station can hear it. Okay, so the cops are being alerted and on their way. Okay. So what happened is they go off and he goes off and he poses to be a cop and tries to see if he'll come out of hiding. He keeps posing, and he just keeps doing it. He keeps posing as a cop, and then all of a sudden, she gets in there. She knows where her son's at, and she gets in there, and her son yells, and I was like, "Way to go! Now he knows where you're at," you know. So all of a sudden, he grabs a hold of her leg and pulls her out. And he's beating the hell out of her. I mean, he's kicking her. He throws her in the closet and kicks her. I mean, beats the hell out of her with his foot, stomping her really so much, you know. Then he grabs a hold of her son, pulls him out of there. He's taking her son's got a little shovel to shovel coal and stuff. He's taking it and smacking him with it, you know, trying to get him to leave him alone. But he grabs a hold of him. He beats the hell out of her son. Busts his nose, and then she goes up and takes the golf club and hits him with it, you know. And then they go back and forth there, and there's a brawl going on, you know, her and her son is trying to survive it and try to get this guy, you know. Then all of a sudden, he knocks her down. And she's knocked on the bed. She's knocked down, and he knocks her down and knocks her on the bed. Then all of a sudden he beats the hell out of him, and he goes off and goes bam like that to his son. And to her son, and when he does, he busts his nose open, you know. And then all of a sudden, he takes a wire, and he's trying to choke her son to death, trying to kill his son, trying to kill her son. And then, okay, here comes the gruesome part, okay? He takes, she takes the knife, and she takes a certain thing, and I'm not gonna say what she does and does, what it was that she takes, but she takes a thing, and shoves the thing right into his eyeball. Right into his freaking eyeball, halfway into his eyeball, and like, oh, I was like, oh yes, oh yeah, there you go, oh my god, yeah, there you go, that motherfucker deserves it, you know. I was really getting into, I was sitting here cheering cheering her. I was like, yeah, there you go, get her, get it, that son of a bitch, he deserves it. I was like, oh, you're fucking kidding me, that didn't kill him? Are you fucking serious? And he's like, you fucking bitch, I'm gonna kill you now. And all of a sudden, she goes up and she takes her foot and goes like that with it, and shoves it so far into his head, kills him instantly right there. And I was like, and he's just laying down on the ground, like, oh my god, oh, I like, oh yeah, there you go. That don't kill him nothing well. That don't kill him. He's not human. And finally he's dead, you know. And they had the cops over there, you know, all kinds of cops over there, and to investigate, you know, and they search the place, you know, and they see him the guy laying down, and they did a state, and they had a statement on her to go and what's going on and what was happening, you know. So she filled them in on what everything was going on and what the guy did. And he said, "Okay, ma'am, you're free. You're free to go." She and he was letting her know that she did the right thing by killing that son of a bitch, because he was going around killing all kinds of people. Even his ex-wife, and you know, I mean, that son of a bitch was a sick son of a bitch, killing people, you know, and then all of a sudden, he also let her know. He said, "Oh, by the way, ma'am," he said, "your brother, he's okay. He's still alive. He's doing just fine." And she said, good. And she told her son that her uncle is still alive, and he's doing just fine. And he said, good. And she said, no. He said, can we do something though? He said, yeah, sure. What's that, hon? Can I call my dad? And he said, sure thing, hon. You sure can call your dad. And then all of a sudden, they was sitting there driving, you know, going somewhere, you know. And then all of a sudden, this car come out of nowhere and blows their horn at her, and she came this close again to blowing her horn at that person, and she's like, you know what? That's what caused this whole thing in the first place. Me sitting here blowing my horn at that guy. I'm not gonna do that this time. And then I'm saying to her son's like, good choice, Mom. You made the right choice, Mom. And that was it. And then the credits came on. And let me tell you, don't fear the Reaper. Don't fear the Reaper. Da 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 so and so. Don't fear the Reaper. Don't fear the Reaper. I don't know the whole song. All I know is it's called "Don't Fear the Reaper." The song of the woman that was singing on that movie, it was fucking fantastic. So if you've never seen this movie before, I strongly recommend you renting the movie or buying the movie. The Redneck Nation Roberts' dad has this movie on regular DVD, but not on Blu-ray, so I couldn't get it on digital. So this movie is awesome. It was fan-fucking-tastic. It was so awesome. I got 2 days to watch it, so I can sit here and watch it anytime I want to again, and I'm going to. Um, I'm gonna give this movie 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, baby, and a good solid 10 out of 10. I strongly recommend anybody watching this movie. It is a damn good movie, and all that. But thank you all for watching this movie review of the, and I could unhinged. I think it's what it's called. I'm not sure. I hope it was informative for you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Um, and I strongly don't recommend anybody messing this movie. It's a good movie. By the way, the guy does look like he played on that old movie, Fred Flintstone. It looks like him, but it's not. It's not him, but it looks like him. But overall, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the movie review as well. Be safe, wash those hands, stay healthy, and I'll catch you on the next movie review, and also the next live stream. Live stream is coming up sometime this week of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And yes, I will be recording it, live streaming it from my PS4, but I will be doing direct capture from my OBS. Okay, I will be doing that from now on, for here on out. Okay. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful and safe day. Dragon Souls, signing out.